When I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior, God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever time of day you find your ears. Listen to the sound that is flowing from your speakers. This is CJ, CEEJAY, and in two simple words, I'm back. Welcome back to CJ's Spiritual Sports segment, HBCU edition for the 2017-18 football season. And if you don't know what HBCU stands for, Google it. Nonetheless, I digress as I sprinkle a little spirituality in your sports. It's your uncle, your next door neighbor looking out for you, and your shoulder when you need to lean. Without further delay, let's do this. Week 1 for the HBCU football season was in full swing over the weekend, as the majority of games was non-conference games in the MEAC, as Morgan State was shut out by Towson 10-0, as not one, not two, but 3 interceptions by Morgan State's Elijah Staley did not help. North Carolina Central was clobbered by Duke 60-7 as Daniel Jones passed for 213 yards and 2 TDs. Norfolk State held their own against Virginia State but lost 14-10 with Trenton Cannon throwing the rock for 145 yards. Meanwhile, North Carolina A&T bamboozled, beat down, and bushwhacked. Alliteration, I love it. Gardner-Webb 45-3 as Lamar Raynard torched the defense for 321 passing yards and a trifecta of touchdowns. The mighty Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman tussled with the University of Miami but came up short 41-13 with 148 rushing yards from Mark Walton and 2 TDs. The Pirates of Hampton was shut out by the Bobcats of Ohio 63-0 with 100 passing yards and a TD from Quentin Maxwell. Over in Baton Rouge, Southern held off South Carolina State 14-8 as Austin Howard passed for 198 yards and a rushing TD. And finally, UNLV and Howard ran up the scoreboard as Howard notched the biggest point spread in college football history, as Howard was a 45-point underdog and beat UNLV 43-40. And Howard also walked away with $600,000. Over in the SWAC, Alabama A&M battled University of Alabama of Birmingham, in which was their first game since 2014, and they jumped all over A&M 38-7. North Dakota State simply outclassed Mississippi Valley State 72-7 as Lance Dunn rushed the rock for 142 yards and 2 TDs. Alcorn State ran amok over Miles College 50-21 with 241 passing yards and a TD from Lenoris Footman. Morehouse couldn't handle Arkansas Pine Bluff and lost 23-10 with 125 rushing yards and a TD from Keyshawn Williams. Meanwhile, Tuskegee sneaked past Alabama State 14-6 as Kobe Jones tossed the rock for 173 yards and a score. Tulane ran over Grambling 43-14 with 3 TDs from Jonathan Banks. Jackson State was shut out by TCU 63-0, 63-0, 63-zip. You get my drift, as Kenny Hill put on a show with 206 passing yards and 4 TDs. And finally, Prairie View and Texas Southern was postponed due to horrible Hurricane Harvey. This sports segment is dedicated to all first responders, National Guard, civilians, neighbors, various organizations, and many, many more who gave their time, their donations, their prayers, their money, their blood, and so much more to help those in dire need from the devastation of Hurricane Harvey in southeast Texas. May God bless you all.